Hi, this is Pallavi Verma. In my previous video, we have discussed what is array list and generics with array list. So in this video, we will see what is a string and how we can create it. And I think you may face some noisy distraction here because it's raining here. So let's start. So first, I will create one class here. So let's say the name of my class is string class, let's say it, and I will include main method. So now I have this class with me. So what exactly the string is? Because you all are aware, how we can create the string, but what exactly the string is? So whenever we write something which is inside your double quotes, it's considered as your string. So basically, this string is a sequence of your characters that you are giving to your code. So we can create strings in two ways. First is using your literals and second one is your using new keywords. So what is the difference if we create the string using the literals and using the new keywords? So first I will do with the literals. So how we can do that? First, okay. Shall I create one method here or okay, I will create it's a standard after all. So first I will create a method. Let's say it's string test, and now I need to do some operation or maybe I need to print something which is a string, but how we can do that? So there are two ways. So first I'll do with the literals. So using the literals, what you need to do is you need to write your string keyword, then the name of your variable. So here it will call as instance. So what I'm giving is, let's say it's your str. Now, if I directly start giving the sequence of my character which will be represented as your string value, so let's say it's Pallavi. So this we have created using the literals, not using the new keyword. Again, let's say this is my str well. And what if I give the value as before? Let's say again I have given the Pallavi. So what is the difference between these two instances? I'm not saying variable, I'm saying instances. So, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just log it and then I will tell you. So let's say it's here str and str. And I will take one more. And this is your str well. And this is your str well. Now what is the difference when I say str and str well? So when we are not at all using this new keyword, which means what will happen, what exactly the compiler will do when it start reading your and compiling your code. So it will say, okay, you have not used any new keyword, so this is my job now to provide an object for you so that your instance can point to our object. So the moment your control go to this particular line, your compiler will only create one object and then it will start it will allow your instance to point that particular object. And the moment it will go to your this next line, it will say, hey, you have already assigned this value to this str instance. So for this str instance, I have already provided one object. So I'm not going to create a new object for your other instances because you are giving the same value. So I don't want to waste my memory. So in such cases, what we'll say, okay, I have already created one object. So str, you start pointing to this object, and hey, str, well, you also start pointing to the same object because you are not at all using the different value. So for the same value, I'm not gonna provide you a separate object for that. So this will be happen and your compilation time, and that will be done by your compiler. So this is the first case using the literals, and okay, I will run this. Then I will tell you using the new keyword and what will happen in that case. So the object is test. Oh, sorry. It should be string class. Yeah. Now using this test object, I will call the method. So first, I will run this. And why it called immutable and how this equals works, that also I'll tell you. So this is the one way that we can use and create the string using the literals, and the another way is using the new keyword. So what this new keyword says. So suppose we have, let's say it's well, and now I'm gonna create the object. And since we have this string well, and we are gonna create this string well new, and let's say I am gonna give something like this, and let's say here I'm gonna give Verma. And what if, and it's obvious that if I make, okay, I will make 2 more entries for the new. So this is suppose, okay, let's say it's 2 and this is 3. So okay, here I will change it to let's Perl, and here I will keep it as Ram. Okay, no, I will keep it as Verma. Okay, so when your controller will go to this particular line, it will say, okay, you have a new keyword, which means I don't need to create any object for you, and you will only creating the object for your value. So it will create a one object for you. This new keyword will allow you to create one object which will be pointing by your well. And the moment it will go to your next line, it will say, hey, again you are creating one more string object which is containing this value, which means one more object will be created by your new keyword. So it will not at all create any object at your compilation time by your compiler, so that it will start pointing to the same thing. No, but the moment it will come to this well tree and it will check, okay, here the values are exactly the same, but at the same time you are asking me to create the object of this. So in that case, yes, one more object will be created. The case will not be like the way we were using in the literals, because we have asking it to create a new object, a separate object for this. So in this case, the objects will be created and that all not point to the same thing, because you have already used this particular thing. And maybe we have some value where we are using the literal, and the same value would be there using the new keyword. In that case, what it will do, it will start point first, it will just create. If okay, there would be also two cases. Suppose first you are specifying here using the literal, and then using the new keyword you are making the entry. So in that case, first we will do, it will go to your heap and start checking whether you have that particular value or not. So it will say, hey, we are already creating it. Okay, so it would be there, so it will not separately create a new object for you. So there are two ways using which we can create the object, or we can create the instance for your string, and we can run the value. In the same way you can print out it. I'm not gonna print this. So in the same way you can print it. And how this string is immutable, we all know string is immutable. We cannot change the value of this, that we all know. But what exactly JVM will do which will make it as immutable, that I'll tell you in my later videos. Stay connected, stay safe.